I'd like to thank the grace of heaven and the virtues of masters and mercy of the predecessors, transmitters, temple masters, lecturers, to giving me the opportunity to talk about today's topic, which is the scriptures given during the San Diego 2-day Dharma class, okay, which is back in June, right? June 9th and 10th. Okay, so the first scripture is what we call the San writing, okay, concerning, all right, on Saturday, okay, June 9th, all right? Okay, so it's so you all have copies, right? It's 8 pages. That's a lot. Okay, so this is the preface. You can say summary, right? Preface, summary of this Buddha will give in greater detail in the next 3 pages, right? Okay, all right. So the beginning, the first 4 phrases, is to transform. Okay, literally it means to purify, but transform it is good. It's good to transform the body. Okay, so that there's no killing, stealing, pilferage, or lust. Okay, all right. So so it's the body, right? Okay, transform the body. The second one is to transform the mouth, or to purify the mouth, so that there's no abusive tongue, abusive language, words, improper remarks, flattery. Really, that's what we say. Lying, or double tongue or divisive talk. Okay, 两舌. I mean that's in Chinese right here. Okay. Yeah.
Did you say we're supposed to have copies of this, or
don't we have copies?
No, I don't.
Oh, if you don't, it's okay. We don't have to do it now.
Okay.
Yeah, you can look it up. You can. Yeah. It's 4 sheets. Okay. Yeah. Then the third one is to transform the. Yeah, we say intent. Yeah, it does mean intent, but mind is broader because intention is from the mind, right? Right? Intention is, intention is more narrow, right? It's just the mind, because sometimes anger and hatred. Anger may not be intentional. Sometimes, sometimes it comes out, right? If you're impulsive, right? Okay, so that's why I think mind is a little bit broader. Okay, transform the mind, okay, so that there will be no more greed, no anger or hatred, or infatuation is kind of narrow. It means obsession, right? Infatuated, your fixation, right? The more general is delusion, or even ignorance is broader. But okay, all right. So actually, these 3, transforming the body, the mouth, and the mind, are what we call the 3 karmic conditions. Those are the 3 karmic conditions. What do we mean by the 3 karmic, or san ye? Okay, it's called san ye. Yeah, 3 karmic conditions. All right, and so what do we mean by karmic conditions? Because it's through these 3 conditions, or 3 parts, 3 pieces, that creates all karma. Think about it, right? Right? We use the body, right? Whatever we do, right, has consequences, right? It's physical. So that's you say physical. Yeah, that's the actual tangible. Maybe that's a better term. Tangible, okay? That means something that we can touch, right? Tangible aspect, right? So that's the body. That's something, right? Mind, I can't. It's not tangible. It's a form, but it's not tangible, right? Okay, mouth, words. Words is not tangible. Where are my words? It's a sound, right? It's a sound. So it's not tangible. It's a form, but it's not tangible. So then the next one is the mouth. So everything we say will have consequences, right? Right? So particularly these 4, right? These 4. Urko, right? That means abusive language. We curse people. We curse. We say God, or damn you, right? Stuff like that. Okay, so that's cursing. Qi yu means, it means flattery. It just means flattery. Okay, so it just means flattery. Okay, flattery. Yeah, improper remarks. It just means flattery. It could be improper, even proper, but it's flattery. Okay, flattery. It just means that you're not sincere about, right? about certain things, right? You could say good things, right? But if you're not sincere, that's still flattery. So that's positive, but the words are positive. That's what I'm trying to say. The words are positive, but your purpose or intent or the foundation of those words are insincere, right? Because you don't mean it, right? So that's flattery, right? Right? People say brown nosing and all that stuff. That's flattery, right? Oh, you look so nice, when in fact, you really think that it's the opposite, right? So also, it could be negative too, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, and then 妄言, that's lies or in untruths. You can say untruths or literally means fantasy, delusional words. Yeah, untruths or untrue, not real, unrealistic, unreal, not real, untruths. Okay, and lastly, so it means divisive tongue. Yeah, literally means double tongue, but it means divisive talk. You say one thing to one person, and you say another thing to get them to hate each other or to do whatever, right? Okay, so that's bad, right? So whatever, okay? So those words create karma, these type of words, okay? Because even though it's intangible, but hey, what comes out of our mouth also has consequences. So therefore, we create karma through our mouths also. Our words, in other words, okay? And lastly, through our mind. Not just intent. Yes, intent is part of it, but overall, okay, mind. The notion of greed, right? Never satisfied, right? More, right? It all comes from our mind. Yes, it comes from other things too. It's influenced by other things, but at least it's generated from our mind, the notion of greed. The body has no greed. The body is, people say, oh no, the body has greed. No, but it's because through the mind, then the body is just more or less a platform, a vehicle to convey that greed, okay? But the point is, the greed all starts in the mind, okay? Same thing with anger and hatred, right? It starts from, it's not from the body. The body doesn't care less, couldn't care less, right? It all starts from the mind, right? Anger and hatred. And same thing with delusion, right? It's all from, the mind is something that's a form, that's tangible. It has nothing to do with delusion. It's delusion, it's all from our mind, right? Right? Okay. So these three, as a matter of fact, these three are the foundation. So the last line, the three transformations. That's the three purifications. Literally means the purification of the three are the foundation of attaining Buddhahood by Balkovere. And it's the foundation, as a matter of fact. If you look at the first 1, 2, 3, 4, I think the first three Eightfold Path, the first three, right? Proper view, proper thoughts or intent, and proper speech and proper action. The first four, proper conduct, actions, actions, conduct. The first four are these three purifications. That's it. That's actually the second, third, and fourth are the proper view is higher level, but it's the second, third, and fourth. Okay, that's that. Well, first one's ignorance too, deals with ignorance. But anyway, okay, those are the four. The first half of the Eight Noble Truths talk about this, the three transformations. Okay, all right, right. So that's very important, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's the foundation. It's the basic. Okay, so we have to be careful. All right, we have to be aware, right, when we are cultivating, when we are learning, studying, practicing the Tao. We have to be mindful of what we do with our body, what we say, and what we think, basically, okay? Or intent, okay? Make sense, right? Okay, so these... Yeah, the 10 good well measures. Yeah, because there's 3, 4, and 3. So that's the 10, 12, the 10 evil deeds or... Yeah, unwholesome deeds. Yeah, unwholesome items. It's in the glossary list. We have it in the glossary list. Okay. All right. So who's saying these? He's the chief examiner of the 3 realms. Okay. By God's degree, he entered the temple and invisibly, made obeisance to God. God asked him if we are our brothers, us as his brothers and sisters are, how we're doing it, and be and be how can I say, be to diligent listen. Okay, listen to his words. Okay, basically, to diligent listen to his words. Anyway, to be dignified, standing dignified. Okay, and listen to his words. Okay, so here is the main body. Okay, they're like 24 lines. So I'm gonna try to go to them finish this as quickly as possible. Okay, first is to inspire the Bodhi Tao heart mind. It also means Bodhi mind Tao heart today. Okay, we inspire it today, right? Because we must let this Tao seedling gradually sprout. Okay, okay. So this and the next 3 lines are basically using a metaphor of like a tree, a plant, a tree in this case, because it's the Bodhi. It's like the Bodhi tree. Okay, it's like the Bodhi tree. So it's a metaphor. What's the Bodhi tree a metaphor for? Us, us. Okay. Besides that, physically us, it's really our mind, right? Our Bodhi mind, our mind, our spiritual sense. You can say our soul. Okay, all right. Okay. So now remember, he's addressing this to the first-time class members. Well, not first time, but the junior Tao members, right? Because they're the class attendees, right? So they're like the Tao ceiling. Get it? Okay. I mean, the new members. I mean, yeah, relatively new members, relatively, right? Because to attend the Dharma class, you're probably relatively new in the first place, right? You're not a 20-year-old veteran, okay? All right. You're probably the first 2-3 years, okay? First couple years. All right. Okay. So we're considered the Tao ceiling. Get it? Okay. So we must inspire our Buddha nature. You can say our Bodhi mind. That's why I say the Tao heart. Okay. So that we can gradually grow. All right. We can mature. We can grow into like a big Bodhi tree. Right. Okay. And then the second line. So this Tao seedling, right. Us, we are illuminated by the sunlight. That means you can say we can blessed by heaven. Okay, you can talk about that. We're blessed, and we have sprinkled with rain and dew. That means we have all the necessary, you can say, nutrients. Okay, or the necessary tools, to learn, right? To learn about the Tao. Okay, we're not disabled, right? We're not handicapped. Sorry, we're not handicapped, right? So we're kind of blessed by heaven, right? We have the nutrients, rain and dew, right? All the blessings, you can say, blessings that allows us to what? That the Tao root will penetrate deeply. I.e., will in other words. We won't get blown away by the wind. For example, if a strong wind picks up, I mean, I'm using a metaphor in the sense that if we are blessed and we have all these, sufficient tools to learn, right, to study, then we can be what? Stand firm, right? Stand firm, right, in face of difficulty or whatever, challenges, doubts, questions, etc., etc. Okay, that's what this is. The metaphor, okay? I mean, this is the metaphor of a plant or of a tree, all right? Talking about us, okay? We being like the tree, for example, okay? And then the next one is become self-reliant and stronger, 自立自强, yeah? I mean, become even stronger, that's what it means, or self-stronger. And then 障碍垮, right? 垮, right? That means we can overcome, surmount all obstacles, difficulties, challenges, etc., right? And we can 勤勉, right? 勤勉奋力往上爬, right? We can diligently, right? Studiously, diligently strive to climb even higher, like the tree, right? Like a tree. I mean, like a tree. That means we can what? Elevate ourselves higher, right? Okay? To rise above, in other words. Rise above the ordinary sentient beings, in other words. Okay? That's a metaphor, all right? Okay, then then the next line, okay, then this last line, 自繁叶茂, right? 长得大, okay? Yeah, I mean this is an idiom. I mean, right? 自繁叶茂, right? It's an idiom. It just literally means that it's luxurious, exuberant, profuse, very flourishing, right? Flourishing. So remember, this is a metaphor, right, of the tree, right, of a plant. So it's growing, growing massively, 长得大, tall, massive, and flourishing, So if we could, have all these blessings, have all the tools to learn, to practice, we will grow, that Bodhi tree will grow and flourish profusely, growing massively, tall, great, okay? All right? So once we could reach that higher stature, or that, growing to be great, then we can what? We can 比音, right? 比音, that's 比音. It means to shade, to shelter, you can say shelter, even to protect. So then we can what? Protect, right? This literally means, it means you, me, and others. That's what it literally means. It just means everybody. It means everybody. It just means everyone. Sentient beings. You can say sentient beings. Everybody. Okay? So then we can protect, shelter, or you can say help. You can say help, even help. Okay? As a giant tree. Provide shelter, right? For, from the sun, etc., from the rain, whatever, right? Okay? So that just means that once we can become stronger and we have established from deep down roots, we can also help others, right? We are able to help others, right? Okay, all right. So that these four are basically just his metaphor of talking about like a tree at the Tao ceiling. All right. Okay. Then the next few lines are a little bit different now. It's just talking about more internal. That's more external. This is more internal. All right. Okay. So we must accept that all that is good or bad. Okay. We cannot just say, oh, I only want good things and I don't want bad things. Right. That means we have what? We have differentiation heart, right? Right? Like the 四象, the four, we call it the 4 marks, right? The 4 marks, 取舍, right? That's what 取跟舍, that means what I like and what I dislike, right? Okay, so we must accept all that is good or bad, okay? All right? That's what this means, okay? And we must be in harmony with karmic affinity, rejoice with others. I mean, 随喜. This term 随喜 in Buddhism, in Buddha's lexicon, it means rejoice with others. I mean, that's simplified. It just means really rejoice in the blessings of others, okay? Not in the hardship of others, but in the blessing. So if they do well, if other people are, healthy, successful, whatever, we are always happy for them. So that means there's no jealousy, no envy, none of that. Okay, none of that, right? None of that. It's like saying we're happy for them, just as like we have the same blessing, same idea, right? So there's no right. So yeah, same. We share in the joy. Okay, all right, okay, and also then we will become what? We will be complimented. You can say by this qua means compliment. Yeah, it means to compliment, to praise. Yeah, to commend. So we will be commended by heaven and people. Yeah, by everyone, in others. All right? Okay, if we can do this, okay? So this is very high level, okay? This is very high level. This is like what a saint would be. A saint, the quality of a saint. You can say a saint. 圣人, saint, yeah? Sage, or a holy person would be like this, okay? Right? They don't what can I say? They don't differentiate. They have no 4 marks. Like example would be Yan Hui, right? And Yan Hui would be an example like that, right? He was in harmony with, in his karmic affinity, he was poor. That was his karma. He's going to be poor. He's not famous. He's not a famous scholar or famous official or whatever. He's a poor nobody. You can say that. You can pretty much say that. Poor nobody. But he's not really a nobody because in history, 2,500 years on, we're still talking about him. So he can't be a nobody, right? So he is somebody. That is because what? He is what? Praised by all future generations, right? He was giving praise. And he's very happy-go-lucky. I would say happy-go-lucky, but he's a very, he always rejoices in the blessing of others. He always, when others are successful, he's always very happy for them, right? So this is an example of Yan Hui. Okay, I mean example would be that. Okay, all right. Then next line. All right. So do not follow the ups and downs or of our feelings and moods. Okay, that's what 情绪, right? 情绪 means feelings. You can say feelings, moods. Okay, more in do. That means don't follow. Don't do because of. Right? That's what literally means this. The 变化 literally means change, but I just say ups and downs, right? Ups and downs, because that's how we look at our emotions, right? Either up, either good or bad, right? Up and down. Okay. Because why we shouldn't follow that? We should not be do that, because then our actions here, our actions and conducts, right? You can say our behaviors, our manners will be what? 偏差. That means it literally means to deviate. That's true. To go off course, off the path. But it just means wrong. It's not good. It's not going to be good. All right? So we shouldn't flow with our emotions, right? Because why? Oh, I get so mad, I end up killing somebody. Oh, that's the consequence, right? So we better be careful, right? We always have to be mindful and also have a very calm mind. All right? Okay? So that's the whole idea. All right? I'll call it. So all that has literally 有形 means something that's physical, tangible, or has shape, right? Okay, and have forms. Okay, so are false. Okay, so all that is tangible and have forms are false. Okay, this is where scientists would disagree, right? Right? Okay, but from a Buddhist perspective, they're all false. Why? Why are they false? Because they're always changing. Because they're not permanent. Right? They're not permanent. Even the earth is not permanent. The cosmos is not going to be permanent. Right? It's subject to change. It's just that the change happens over a long time. That's all. All right. Okay. So then here is very good. Right? Okay. These are the 4 things that all humans throughout the world, throughout history, are always pursuing. Right here. That's it. This is it. This is it. This is what we're all pursuing. All sentient beings are pursuing. What are they? Fame, power, fortune, and status. That's it. That's what every human being wants to pursue. Degree. Okay, based on degree, but some more, some less. But those are the 4 categories. Okay, so you know what Buddha calls that? They're like what? Literally, this means flowers in the sky. That's what it means. Anybody sing flowers in the sky?
Sometimes they say it's like the flower in the mirror.
Yeah, or
In
yeah.
the water.
Yeah. Moon in the water, right? In a pond, right. Okay, so Buddha loves to use this phrase, flowers in the sky. I've seen flowers in the sky. Yeah, this is what Lecturer Liu said in his Buddha Nature classes. He says, have you guys ever, let's say, lie down when you're sitting down or lying down, right? Then you jump up immediately. Ooh, the blood, right? That's not, would be drained from your head very quickly because you happen to make. And then what you're gonna see? I see stars, flowers in my head. Don't you guys see that? Yeah, you'll feel dizzy, right? Remember dizzy? That's flowers in the sky. So what Buddha is saying is that these 4 things, fame, power, fortune, and status, are all illusions. It's kind of interesting, huh? Are all illusions. Okay. All right. So that's Buddha's point of view. Okay. So we have to realize that, understand that, right? The sooner we understand that, the quicker is our path towards enlightenment, actually. Because the reason why we don't become enlightened is because we are trapped by these 4 things. No, we are. We're trapped because we're always pursuing that. So we're trapped. In other words, we become slaves to these 4 things. No, that's certainly not going to be enlightened, okay? All right? That's the opposite. That, as a matter of fact, if we pursue these 4 things, that just means that we are going further down the road of karma. You know that? Serious of karmic reward and / retribution. Okay? So that's just prolonging karma. So if we pursue this, we are going to prolong our karma. Very simple. All right? Okay, so that's enough, okay, for now. All right, so 断正自我正入他, right? That means literally means to 断正 means to correct ourselves, correct or proper, rectify, make correct ourselves. 自我 means us, oneself. The proper road. Sometimes we have to step on the proper path. Okay, follow the proper path. That is what? To cultivate, to avoid this. This is not the proper path. Okay, the previous fame, fortune, power, fortune, status. That's not the proper path. That's definitely not the proper path. Okay, so Buddha is saying that's not the proper. We should instead not renounce, relinquish those four, and set ourselves about towards the proper path of cultivation, of pursuit. Okay, you can say cultivation. Okay, so when and in that path we can. I say when growing up. That means, literally it means growing up. I mean, but it just means as we are improving, as we are growing, maturing. You can say maturing, learning, right? Learning, getting older, getting smarter, wiser, whatever. Okay. We have to be able to correct ourselves, to learn. In other words, to learn, to realize, to understand that we are not perfect. That we all have what? 毛病脾气, right? We have all what? Faults, right? And bad temper, right? Then learn how to correct ourselves, okay?
Also help others.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. 成人, you can say, yeah. So, all right? So, to help ourselves, establish ourselves and establish others too, okay? Yeah, help others, okay? All right, so then the next one is don't be shocked or surprised. This could mean surprise, right? Or unexpected, okay? Do not be shocked by the occurrences. It means appearance here, right? 成见, but it means occurrence, right? Occurrence of karmic rewards and retributions. All right? Okay? Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked, because people would say, oh, how could this bad thing happen to people, right? To others, right? Now we're looking not from a compassion point of view, right? Okay, we should still have compassion, obviously, right? But to explain why these things happen, right? Why these? It's because of karma. It's because of karma. It's not because of random. God doesn't care, and whatever. Some people are just plain unlucky, and some people are just plain lucky. It's not that. That seems very random, right? Very random. Right? But remember in the previously, right? Because of all these things, right? These pursuit and all these things, we create karma, right? So therefore, if we continue to pursue these things, which is like 99.99% of the people around the world do that, right? Throughout history, then we should not be shocked when karmic rewards and retributions happen, okay? Along the way, right? Okay? We should not be surprised. No. It should not be surprised, because we humans don't see the past, or don't, we don't remember the past, don't see the future, okay? And that's our problem, all right? So we say, why me? Well, maybe in the past we did something wrong, right? Or I don't know if I use the word wrong, but we did something that planted seeds so that today it happens, right? Okay? So that's why all karmas, right here, right? All karmas. Okay, 句子, you can say all. That means all. Yeah, accumulated karmas. Yeah, all are what? 明察. That means, literally, it means to render fair judgment. That means are fairly apportioned, are fairly rendered. That's what I'm saying. Given out, meted out. That means because it's karma. It's not biased. Okay, it's universal. It's equal opportunity for all. It's whoever plants the seeds will reap the fruit. Very simple. That's pure karma. That's just plain and simple karma. So that's why it's fair. It's not biased. So, I like you, so therefore you're not gonna reap those bad consequences. Only good rewards. No, karma doesn't work that way, right? It's fair. That's why it's appropriate and fair. Understand? Okay. All right, so that's what it means. That's what karma means, okay? All right? Now, cultivators do not fear demons. Demons, literally this means demons. But demons in Buddhism, in the Buddhist lexicon dictionary means many things. Okay, not just literally a demon, a devil. Okay, no, demons could be our fears, our what? Greed, our obsession, our anger, all that. Okay, all those things, our passions, our emotions. Okay, jealousy. Yeah, that's what I say. Passions, emotions, those 10 unwholesome deeds, they are our demons. Okay, okay, so that's what we mean by that. Okay, so why will we not fear these things? Because we can practice the true way. All right, we can learn about the true way and we can practice it. Okay, that means do it, right? Okay, and by doing that, it will what allow us to reach. This literally means home, but it means eternal home, absolute realm. Okay, go back where we originally came from. Okay, where we originally were born, if that's the case, or original, our source. Okay, all right, so that's what it means. Okay, and then achieving Buddhahood is just in a moment, in an instant, right? Being fei, it means it's like a double negative. It's almost not double. It's like strong. It's like a strong negation, right? This is a negation. Being, it could mean but, not. It just means is. It could say actually is or just is in a moment. Okay.
Emphatic.
Yeah, emphatic. Yeah, that emphasizes that. So it's like almost like a double negative. But anyway, so it just means isana, sana. There's a phrase. Okay, Ksana. It's supposed to be 1/90th of a second. I mean, that's according to the Buddhist lexicon. But anyway, it just means it in an instant. Okay, so then our 恒成一片. Yeah, that. 恒 literally means you can say permanent, eternal, lasting, constant. 成 is our what? Literally, it means sincerity. It's a measure of that eternal sincerity. What is what? It refers to our Buddha nature. That's what. It's always constant. Get it? The eternal essence in us, right? Our essence of mind, our Buddha nature, different words. It can what? Reach its highest level. So that's what it means when we say it becomes Buddha. When we achieve Buddhahood in that instant, that means our Buddha nature is at the highest level. We are at the highest side. There's no stain. It's pure. You can say it's pure. You can reach the highest spirit. I mean, even background. If you want to go to the background of this, you could read up on Nirvana Sutra, 涅盘经. Okay, what is the state of when we are at the highest level? Okay, 直善达. Okay, at the highest level. Okay, he talk about the. 你们没有听过的四涅盘德, the four nirvana virtues. That's what it means. Okay, but that's the higher level. Okay, so we don't need to go too much detail. Okay, so that's what it is. So I call it just the highest good. I mean, that's good enough. Okay, for our purpose. Okay, and then united in a concerted effort to sail the Dharma boat. Okay, because remember, this is the Dharma class, right? So everybody's already aboard the Dharma boat, right? Already? Because you can only attend the Dharma class if you receive the Tao, right? So we already attended on aboard the Dharma boat, right? So we have to 律例. That means make effort, but it's together, 同心, right? United. You can say united in our hearts and minds, right? Putting together effort to sail this Dharma boat, right? 法环. It's Dharma boat. That's Dharma boat. Okay, which means that we are on this path of cultivation. Okay, we're going to reach the other shore, right? In other words, the Dharma boat, right? So what's the other shore? Right here, right? 回乡, right? 回乡草母, right? 草母 means imperial God, imperial heavenly mother. Okay, that's what royal. Sorry, royal. Royal, imperial, right? 草. It just means sovereign. It just means denoting a high rank or respect. Okay, to God. So sometimes we're returning back to God. We're all smiling, very happy, return to where we actually belong. All right. So all right. so he's asking, are you okay? All right, so let's keep going. All right, so 善良信女. This is a very popular phrase in Buddhism. It means devotees of Buddha. or disciples. You can say devotees, disciples. And it doesn't have to be disciples. Devotees is proper because disciples means we have to be a monk or nun, right? But devotees means we could be lay people. We could be people who are in society, okay, as long as we follow Buddha's teachings, okay? So that's what it means, okay? So we are gathered together in this temple, right? 聚义堂, okay? But it's 难能可贵好时光. Wow, this is a very auspicious, precious, and rare time that we can be gathered together, all right? Okay, so all Buddhas and saints have descended to this world, you know that? So on the one side, that means what are they doing? That means, what are you saying on one side? Because we're standing, right? We're standing there in the temple. So the Buddhas and saints are on the other side, right? We're on the side of this in this temple. Okay, there. So on one side, they are, what are all these Buddhas and saints doing? They are really protecting, sustaining, enhancing our spirituality. You know, help us along on our cultivation, you can say, all right, or learning about the Tao, studying the Tao, practicing the Tao. That's their job. I mean, that's their job. They're fulfilling their vows. Okay, their vow is to what? Help others also become Buddhas or Bodhisattvas. Remember, right? So that's what it is. Okay, so today, having entered this Tao community, right? Enter the Tao community. Okay, what is the most important thing? Is to embrace 宝道奉行, right? That means to what? To embrace, to not let go, right? To grasp, to embrace, and to follow. I mean, to follow, yeah, to practice, yeah, follow, practice according. And this is the most important, all right? Right? 一桩, right? 第一桩, that's the most important matter. Foremost, you can say foremost matter, okay? All right. And then there are two things to remember, two words to remember. 感恩, boundless gratitude. Okay? We always have to remember that. We have to be grateful. Why? Because we are all, well, previously, we are all in this Dharma boat, and we're all gathered together, right? To learn, to study, to learn, to practice in this Tao community, right? Right? Within the Tao community. So we have to be very grateful. Deeply grateful. Very deeply, boundlessly grateful. Okay? All right? So we have to remember these two. And what? And also, we can what? Put to good use of this physical body to what? Refine the Bodhi mind. That's what it means. 炼金刚. Okay? 金刚 literally means diamond. Diamond Sutra right here, the Jing Gang Jing. Okay? But in this case, what is the diamond? It's not the physical gem, not that stone, right? But rather it's our Bodhi mind, our Buddha nature. You can say our Buddha nature, our Bodhi mind. That's good enough, right? Okay? All right? So we want to, right? Okay, put to good use. All right? Okay, then 探讨真理眼界广, right? That means 探讨 means literally means to investigate, probe. Okay, it means I just say learn. That's good enough. Okay, because when you're learning, you're investigating, right? You're probing about the truth, right? So in order to broaden our views, okay, to open up our minds, not to become too narrow-minded, not to become selfish, not to become all that, not to become intolerant, right? To be less intolerant, right? All that. Right? So that's what it means, like broaden. Okay, that's what I meant. Okay, broaden ourselves, not just views, but ourselves. Okay? But it starts with our views, right? It starts there, right? With our mindset, right? Begins with our mindset. Okay, and then what? 善心善行, right? That means what? Merciful mind and benevolent actions, right? Right? Once we broaden our views, once we have a better understanding of ourselves, our Buddha nature, in other words, then we can what? Become more merciful, right? Be more merciful, like the Buddhas, because that's what our Buddha nature is. It's merciful, right? The four immeasurable minds, it's in there, okay? That includes that, okay? All right? And then we can do what? Then we want to do good things, help others. And we can, if we do that, it can what? Right? We can do this. It can what? 化灾殃. That means transform disasters, calamities. Okay? So that means we have 功德, right? If we have a lot of virtuous merit, we can do that. Okay? All right. So cultivation it's not external. In other words, it's not based on external appearances. People do it, say, oh, I want other people to praise me, to say, oh, look at how good that person, how studious, look. Oh, he's always cleaning this or doing this, No, it's not for praise, because that means you have what? A motivation, ulterior motive, right? So what our actions, all these merciful mind and benevolent actions are non-conditioned. That's why I talk about the four immeasurable minds, then the four great vows, right? That follows. But the four immeasurable minds are non-conditioned, unconditioned, 无为, right? That's what it means. Okay, non-motiveless. Okay, or all right, without motives. Okay, and so what? Our 心性, essence of mind, Buddha nature, essence of mind, right? We have to what? Promote that, right? We have to focus it, focus on that. And that's the way of the virtues, okay? That's what it is, 方贤良, okay? That all, way of the virtues. That's all the previous enlightened beings, sages, saints, Buddhas, all follow this method, all right? Right? Okay? That's their way, all right? Okay. So, 所作所为, right? That means all our behaviors and conducts, right, have to be what? 有涵养, right? That means you can say self-restraint, self-control, self-discipline, right? Okay, we have to have discipline, control. We can't just be rash, right? Impulsive, right? You say something bad to me, I say something back. You say one word, I say 3 words. You say 2 words, I say 10 words. Whoa, my God. That's not self-restraint, right? Okay? So we better be careful, right? Okay? So, all right? And then the true cultivator can what? Improve. 能强, 自强. Yeah, you can say, can what? Improve oneself. It means literally become stronger. That means we improve ourselves, okay? All right? Okay? We can strive to improve ourselves, okay? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, sorry. STRIVE, yeah, strive, sorry. That's corrected. Yeah, wrong word. Yeah, wrong word. Yeah. Ooh, damn. Where are we? Okay. STRVE. Okay. Strive, right? Yeah. Yep. Wrong word. Okay. All right. Okay. Strive. Yeah. We make efforts, right? Diligent efforts, right? To improve. Okay. All right. And then intrinsically, okay, 内在, yeah, innately 充满. Okay. That means we are endowed innately or inwardly, internally, endowed, filled up, literally means full of. So we're innately endowed with what? 正能量, right? Literally, it means positive energy. Literally, that's what it means, right? 正能量 means energy or capability, okay? But it just means we have righteous capability. And what are the righteous capabilities? If you want to go deep in there, we have we could say the 6 supernatural powers, or the 10 liberations, 十自在, all that, okay, all that, all right, okay, all that, okay. So those are the positive, righteous, good. You can say good. I mean, because we have to use adjectives, so I just say righteous, good, okay, all right. And the Tao virtues are always what? In our hearts and minds, okay? Always in our, because we're naturally endowed, okay? We already have it. Our Buddha nature is self-sufficient. It has everything. That's what goes one again to the Nirvana Sutra, the 4 Nirvana qualities, or we call it 4 Nirvana virtues. So we have to read those things, okay? So this is, all right? This is just an affirmation of that, right? Okay? And then he asks, brothers and sisters, do not fail, okay? That's 莫负, right? Do not fail or to not meet God's what? Right? God's earnest, you could say earnest wishes, earnest hope, earnest expectation, right? Okay. What's his earnest expectation? Is that we're going to come back. We're going to go back to his be with him, get to his home, right? In his palace, okay? Go back, okay? That's what it means. To become enlightened, in other words, okay? Whatever, all right? Okay. So then what? What's very important is that we have to what? follow, right? Follow. Okay, we have to follow the rules and regulations or Tao proprieties in this case, right? And conduct ourselves, right? This is the proper method. Okay, that's the proper way. All right, if we're gonna start. That's the proper way, right? By following the what? Tao proprieties. Okay, there are many. There's temple and all that. Okay, all right. So, all right, the 15. The 15. There's the 15 proprieties. Okay, all right. So that's more detail. Okay, so he goes, calm our minds, and to listen to the classes. Okay, to the lectures. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, 课讲 to the lectures. Okay, all right. And then we have to properly cultivate our thoughts. Okay, properly cultivate and our thoughts. Then we can what? Restore our goodness. That means our restore to where our original nature is like. Okay, our original self, so that our minds are no longer pursuing those material pursuits and all that stuff. Okay, all right. Okay, so then we must rise above ourselves. That's what it means. Okay, literally it means to become stronger or grow stronger. Okay, literally that's what it means. But it just means rise above. We must rise above ourselves. In other words, rise above this material pursuits and all that stuff. Okay, all right. Okay, and then our resolve or will, together with the Buddhas, right, are equally matched. Because if we rise above ourselves, aren't we Buddhas also? Don't we become Buddhas and saints? So we must have that resolve. Okay, all right. Okay, that determination, you can say. All right. Okay, all right. Then, his last sentence, he basically say, all the merits and faults are honestly and clearly recalled without nonsense. That means without guessing. Without presumption. Without, it's not haphazard. In other words, okay, random. Okay, without nonsense. That means it's clearly, if there's a fault, there's a fault, right? If there's a merit, there's a merit. Okay, all right. It's not random. It's not okay. And to go see that, brothers, sisters, what we should have is what? Self-regard and self-respect for ourselves. So that way we know we can have merits and we will not have faults. Okay? And so he stopped. So that's basically his hold on. That's basically the okay? That's basically his scripture. All right? So the first half he talks about principle, and then later on he talks about more detail, right, of what to do, right, of how we should conduct ourselves in that path of cultivation, all right, of sailing on the Dharma boat, right, heading towards home, all right, or crossing the shore, reaching the other shore, all right. Okay, so that's basically it. Any questions? It's pretty straightforward, right?
James has a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some questions. If you go back up to the top where it deals with the issue, you say that we must accept the good and the bad.
Right.
Okay, that is, when we deal with the issue of our education and trying to understand, to elevate ourselves and to become good and to,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So why is the conflicting statement saying that we must accept?
Yeah. Now, good and bad could be viewed, interpreted too narrowly, or too narrowly. It just means whatever is positive or negative, okay, we should not reject, because it is all part of this dualistic realm. There's not going to be only good things. In other words, for example, very, very simple things. Okay, you can't choose which family you're born in. I had no choice, right? I happened to be born in this family. It was not up to me, right? It's not up to your choice, right?
You have the ability. I mean, that's when we deal with the issue of cultivation, as far as dealing with
Right.
them to
No, okay.
to raise their standards or bring their standards in.
No. It doesn't mean that you should not do that. This does not mean you should not. It doesn't mean that, if you're poor, then you can't try to figure out a way to get out of poverty. It doesn't mean that.
I understand
This does not mean that. It just means that you have to accept the situation as it is, and then you can try to improve yourself.
Yeah, we seek to improve
All right?
it.
Right. But
in that in itself, you're saying that we're not accepting the bad situation that exists.
well.
I mean,
Okay.
seriously,
Okay.
we're not.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
accepting it.
Okay. Yeah. That is true. But what you're trying to say is basically, but you still have no choice in whether or not you are in a good situation or in a bad situation. There is, right? If you're born into a poor family, you didn't have a choice in that, did you? Did you have a choice? Of course
I
not,
understand that
right?
point as far
So
as-
that's what this means. Yeah.
Actually, if we read the scriptures, often enough, we know that there's the invitation by Buddha is that we should not complain
Well,
about
I
the
mean-
circumstances we are in. We just accommodate it. And
Right, that's what it
Chin
means
Tai
by-
said, we kind of move forward. We try to improve.
Yeah,
But
we try to see.
no
through.
judgment, no
Right.
no
But-
complaint, because that's all karma.
But here's the potential failure. You say, yeah, you want to escape that. Yeah, you want to say, okay, I don't accept that fact that I'm in a bad situation. So then, what you're gonna do? You're gonna try to get out of it. That's true. That's not wrong per se. But if you only focus only on just that, then what we're gonna end up doing? Pursuing what? Fame, fortune, power, and status. You're gonna end up pursuing that. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? Isn't that true?
I mean,
But
but
using the same line as lecture guide, say you were born in this family and this family is very poor. You accept that, but you should have the wherewithal to say, well, let me do something to help and get, change that sort of fate instead of saying, oh, I hate you, I don't like you, I don't know why you're my mother, why you're my father. So we accept them, but still we have the ability to change it.
yeah, we're in the process
So-
of change.
so it's-
No, but it's a balance. It's a balance, really. Okay, it's you accept the lot that we find ourselves in, right? The situation, kind of thing. But then we can change. Yes, we can change. I'm not saying so. This does not mean that you can't change. What it's saying is we accept it. Okay, that's what that first line is. Accept the current situation or the situation that we are in or that we're born into, whatever. Okay, then we can find a way to do it. But do not do it such that we're only pursuing fame, fortune, wealth, and status. Make sense? Okay.
Yeah, but maybe it's the
Yeah.
word must.
Well,
I mean, the word must is
okay,
really,
okay,
if
yeah.
It was,
Let's
if
take a
you only
10-minute
issue
break for
translation
Okay.
time
as
out.
well.
Okay, so maybe we could just say accept.
Yeah,
Get rid of
you can say,
must.
you know,
Accept.
you know,
Accommodate? Yeah, you can say accommodate. Accommodate all that is good or bad.
Because we're not really we're not, it's like what's being etched in stone.
Right. Well, but it does. Is it ACCMO?
Okay.
ACCOMODATE.
Okay.
You're dealing with the good and the bad.
Oh,
You're
MO.
DATE.
How's that?
Two
Oh,
M's.
2 M's. It is 2 M's. Okay. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay. Accommodate. That's fine. That's good.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So let's continue. I want to then the next sequence of scripture is there are two of them. Well, it's one. It's one whole one, but it's put out by our holy teacher. All right. So it's called the 12. The first part is called the 12 relinquishments. We didn't have a title here. We should type 12 relinquishments here. It doesn't matter. Okay. Right. We should do that. Right. Let's see.
Just
Where?
do it in the other- It's in the other file anyways.
Which other file? Oh, right here. Okay, yeah. That's the 12 relinquishments, okay? So, yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's easier to read this way. All right, so the first one is let go of confrontation. Learn to be loving. Yeah, learn to love and create a harmonious life, okay? So basically, there are 12 lines, okay? 12 lines, and then the construction is the first third, or there's 3 parts, right? There's the There's the first four words, the middle four words, okay, middle four words, and then last 7 words, is it? Yeah, 7 words. All right, so there are 15 words. 15 words altogether per line. So the first third is to let go of confrontation. Don't be antagonistic. We should not be always confronting each other. Okay, and so that means we let go. That means relinquish. Okay, give up, let go. Okay, and so rather than confront each other, we should learn to love each other, to be loving, to adore. Adore is a little bit more narrow, but loving is broad. It's good enough, broad. That means also to be kind. All right, okay. So yeah, caring, right? Yeah. So when we could do that, right, then we can create or result in a what? More harmonious, right? More harmonious life, right? Everybody would get along, right? Okay. All right, so that's the first let go. Second one is 猜疑, right? That means suspicious. We have suspicions. Okay, some people have a very suspicious nature, right? Everything that they say, they always second guess, right? Say, always look at things negatively. That's not good, right? Okay, I mean, overly pessimistic, okay, looking at or negative, okay. So rather than be suspicious, we should learn to trust more, to be more trusting, okay, to trust, and then we can create a more beautiful life, okay. Yeah, beautiful life just means that there's less suspicion, less doubts, all that stuff, okay. All right. So all right. Then the third one is we should let go of 冷漠, right? Indifference, or people say apathy. Okay, you can say apathy. All right. Okay, indifference, apathy. Okay, that means people who. What do you mean by indifference? People say, sometimes I'm indifferent to certain choices. Yeah, that's true. That you can be indifferent, different or neutral. You can say neutral, but in this case, that's why I didn't like the word indifference. I like to use apathy instead. Because you say you cannot have apathy towards certain choices. It's you wouldn't use that word in that context. You would use indifference or neutral. Yes, you could do that. Let's say you're deciding on a menu. You have different choices, right? So you don't say I'm apathetic to these choices. That's the misuse of that word. You can say I'm indifferent or I am neutral. You can say that. So that's why I didn't like to use the word indifference. I like to prefer apathy. Apathy deals with about other people's situations or dealing with more on the emotional side. Indifference can deal with emotions too. Indifference is broad. It's pretty broad. Okay, but apathy is more towards emotional side or towards to the situation of others in general. Okay, so you can say I am apathetic or I have apathy to the suffering of others. You can say that. You can say indifferent too. In this case. Okay, or even neutral. You can probably say that. But usually apathy is for that, right? Usually that's the usual context. Okay, so that's what it means. It means that we don't care. It basically means you don't care. You can say that. I don't care, right? I don't care. Okay, but rather we should be caring. That's what I'm saying. All right. So rather we should know, not you shouldn't care, but rather we should care about others. Okay. All right. Okay. Care about others. That just what I mean. It's just because the wording can get a little bit tricky. And then if we do that, then our life will be truly fortunate or blessed. Okay. We can say we would have fortune because we care about others. We share. In the blessings and the fortune. We want everybody to have blessings or to be blessed. Okay? So that's what it means to have a blessed life. Okay? All right. Then the fourth one is let go of, this means, literally it's criticism. That's true. Criticism. We should not be too critical. I mean, we can't be, that doesn't mean that we can't have constructive criticism or anything. It's just that sometimes we're always trying to, and to some degree, it can be this. It can lead to this too. It's this. It's because this 对立 is very generic. I mean, it's very broad. Okay, confrontation, right? So when we're criticizing, we're also being confrontational, right? Right? Okay. But so we should learn to, not to be critical for critical's sake. Okay, because sometimes when we say we want to be too critical, we tend to find only negative things, right? That's the problem with being too critical, right? Sometimes we have that tendency, and that's why we want to avoid that, right? Yeah.
A simple example is like in a family, every day we are enjoying meals cooked by our family members, and when they are good, we never say anything. But when something it becomes too salty or too bland, then we quick to criticize or to judge.
So that's why we should, it's not that we can't make constructive criticism, but we can do it in a different way. Okay, it's all in a manner of method, you can say, all right, okay, but the tone, the method, etc. Okay, but that's what we mean by that. It's not that we can't be critical. Yes, you can be critical. In other words, because one way to improve is if when other people can criticize you, then you do have a flaw, right? Have a flaw that you need to improve on or correct. Okay, so it's definitely okay. But then rather we should learn to compliment, right? The opposite of criticism is complimentary, right? Or praise or commend, right? To commend, right? Okay, and if that's the case, if we could do that, then our life would be a lot happier. It wouldn't be as negative, right? In other words, okay, it would be more positive, more happy. Okay, then 计较, okay, that's this, right? 计较 means bickering. Now, bickering, some people say, when people are bickering, they're having disagreement. That's true too. So that's why, even bickering is kind of broad, because you can have bickering over many different things, and also in different contexts. Something you're bickering over some choices, right? Choice, or over certain ideas. So that could be a dispute, right? Ideas, positions, you can bicker over. But in this case, this bickering means we're haggling.
Scores, right?
Yeah, keeping scores. Yeah, but You can say keeping score, or you can say we are nickel and diming. We're haggling. We're haggling over either price or over little things. That's right. Trifles.
Like when you go to shop.
Yeah,
and buy stuff.
trivial things, or very small, minor stuff, details. Right. So like when people are haggling over a price, let's say the price is $10,000, you're haggling over $1. That to me is very trivial, isn't that right? Right. I mean, right. But then I'm talking about that's price example. But a lot of things, either people's flaws or mistakes. People make a very small mistake, and yet you make a big thing out of nothing. Right. I mean. Right? Or, to what? Create a mountain out of a molehill. Right? So that's what we mean by bickering in this case. Okay? Okay, not disputes. We don't mean disputes, because there's a dispute later on.
At work, we complain that we are doing more than
Yeah.
anyone else.
Yeah. You can say it's a type of complaint too. Yeah, it's a type of complaining. Yeah, you can say that too. But that's what I mean by bickering. Okay, so we have to be, all right. I don't mean disputes. Okay, because it'll come later. Okay, so then rather than being, like small-minded, bickering, meaning haggling, trivials, right? Being trifles. We should be what? The opposite. What's the opposite of trifle? Grand, great, right? Right? What's the opposite of trifle? Small, big, right? Magnanimous means broad-minded, generous. Okay? And then we can create an expansive life. Broad. Everything will be more tolerant, right? I'm not, haggling over little small details, with you, right? Little minor things, like right, like the Bible said, right? What's that? I see a dust in thy brother's eyes, but I miss the log in my own. So I see little detail, little fault that you have, and I'm reminding you constantly. No. Right? We have to be a little bit more tolerant. So that's what expansive means, right? Tolerant, magnanimous, right? And therefore you would have a much more expansive life, right? Okay, broad, you can say broad, but broad is too general. Expansive in this case means more tolerant, more generous, right? Okay, all right. Okay, so then let go of, okay, this, 嫉妒, in Chinese, it's more specific. It literally means jealousy. That's what it means, literally. Okay, it's not envy. It doesn't mean envy, but envy is broader. Okay, and envy is not a positive trait, even though people say, oh, it could be positive. I mean, envy means the only positive that I can think of is grudging thing. You begrudge somebody. You grudgingly praise somebody. You grudgingly, right? But you still have a grudge. It's like a reluctance or unwillingness or right? Unwillingness, right? That type of thing, right? So it's not envy. Remember, envy is part of the 7 deadly sins, right? Isn't that right? In the Bible? It doesn't say jealousy. It says envy. So envy encompasses jealousy. Jealousy is very narrow. Usually jealousy tends to be more, I mean, I'm not, but tends to be more deals with relationships, or even position, status, those type of things. Or fame, I'm jealous of his fame, jealous of their fortune, jealous of their good looks, jealous of their status, etc., right? Okay. Whereas envy is broader, right? Jealousy is a type of envy. So just remember that, okay? And so what's the opposite of being envious or being very, you could say negative or wanting something that you don't have, right? You can say that, right? That's kind of envy, right? So rather we should what? Rejoice with others. We should rejoice in the fortune or best blessing of others. That's really what more comprehensive term means, okay? But more specific. Just means we should be happy for them. Yeah, you're rich, I'm happy for you. You're handsome, I'm happy for you. You're beautiful, I'm happy for you. You're powerful, I'm happy for you. You're famous, I'm happy for you, right? Like that, okay? All right, that's it. And then we can create a what? A more peaceful and auspicious life, okay? All right, okay. So and then the next one is let go of 贪求, the narrow one just means greed, just means greed. But we say greedy pursuits, okay? To be a little bit more specific, just means that we should not pursue things just very selfish for our selfish ends, okay? Rather, we should be what? More giving. All right, more giving. Okay, so more charitable. So that's why there is a more connotation of selfishness here, right? Selfishness, more self, more, me, only me. So rather than only me, you want to be others too, give others. Okay, and then we can then create a contented and bountiful life. A content means that we're satisfied. Right? We're satisfied, all right? And we have, it is what? More blessed to give than to receive, right? That's what the Bible said too, right? It is more blessed, yeah.
Yeah, because there are actually benefits of the giving, right? When we give wealth, then it's going to also give us wealth too. We'll become richer, although we should not really be abiding in that. And when we share Dharma, principles, then to increase our wisdom. And then when we do
The time and effort.
it's
Giving
going
of
to help with
time and effort.
our health.
Yeah, the reason why it's bountiful, because then what's going to happen is at the worst, if we do it with intent, I mean some people do it with intent, you will reap what? Karmic rewards. You will, because you give and then you're going to get back. Okay, all right. So that's 叫福报. Okay, that's called karmic reward. Okay, that's if we do it intentionally. But if you do it without intent or non-conditionally, then our rewards will be unlimited. Okay, all right. So that's what it means. So that's what it means by bountiful. Okay, all right. Okay, next one. Let go of anger and hatred. Yeah, that's what literally these two terms means. Rage and hatred. Okay, let go of that. And rather, we should be more what? Gentle, more gentle, nicer, kinder, all that stuff, okay? Nicer, kinder. And then that way, our lives will be more relaxing, okay? Will be more relaxed. easier. You can say it would be easier. People who always are very rageful or wrathful or hatred, I'm pretty darn sure that they have a miserable life, right? Okay, all right. So their life is definitely not relaxing. Okay, or comfortable. You can say comfortable. Okay, all right. So now the next term. Now, 是非, yeah, in Chinese, more narrow specific, it means to gossip. Literally, it means to gossip. Literally. See, but gossip, a lot of times, some people say gossip. I mean, we don't tend to think, in English anyway, in America, gossip does not tend to be pretty neutral. I mean, you can have negative and also positive. Even good things you gossip about, or bad things you can gossip about. Isn't that true? Right? So gossip is not necessarily overtly negative. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, people just gossip. They're just idle chat. You can say idle chatting. Or they talk about good things, but that's still idle chat, right? All right? So that's why I don't like to use the term gossip. I like to use the term about what's right and wrong, okay? All right? Because gossip could be about right and wrong, okay? All right? Okay, it could be a right gossip or wrong gossip. Doesn't matter, okay? Okay, right type of gossip, wrong type of gossip. It doesn't matter. Okay, so rather than let fixating on who's right, who's wrong, and all that stuff, we should be more dispassionate. It means detached too, or it could be indifferent, but I don't want to use the term indifferent. It really should be more unperturbed. We should not be influence, even if it's good or bad. When people talk, okay, we should not be perturbed, means moved, influence, understand? Okay, we should just accommodate, accept, yeah, it could be good or bad, right? It could be good or bad gossip. We should be more accommodating, okay? And then that way we can create a more tranquil, more settled, more peaceful, you can say peaceful too, right? More settled, right? Less noise, less gossip, less worrying about what's right, what's wrong. Okay, all right, okay. Then here is the 争辩, right? That's dispute. That's really disputes. Debates. You can say debate. Arguments. You can say arguments. That's debate. That's different from bickering. Okay, that's what I'm trying to. Even though bickering could involve argument, okay, or debate, okay. I mean, it could involve that too, okay, bickering, because bickering is very broad, okay. That's why I think trifles is a little bit better, but that's okay. Dispute. So we should not be argumentative. We should not always debate for the sake of debating, okay. All right. So rather we should focus more, be more self-introspective, okay. Look in, okay, look inward. Wait a minute, because the reason why. What I mean by introspective is that we also have to say, maybe the other person is arguing based on their view. So we have to consider that too. All right. So that's why it takes some introspection. All right. And then if we could do that, then we would have more wisdom. There's more wisdom. Okay. Because the problem with disputes and arguments is that it could lead to things worse. Okay. A lot of bad things that happen, that result, is due to disputes. It could be a very mild dispute in the beginning, but then what? It could get worse. If we continue to dispute, right? Argue, debate, it could get worse and worse, snowball. And then it leads to some unforeseen consequences that we both may regret. Okay? All right, so that's why we need some wisdom. So it's not, even though you may be right, even though we may be right, I mean, there are a lot of stories, right, about why we shouldn't debate, okay? All right, I mean, a lot of different stories about Confucius, story about different things, okay? All right. We don't have time for that, but anyway, let's just go. Okay, then the last two is let go of 泛杂, right? This 泛杂means complexity, sophistication. Things are overly complex, all right? We should try not to make things too complicated, right? That's what it means. Rather, learn to simplify, right? Opposite of complicate is simple, right? Okay, and then we create a straightforward life. Straightforward means very direct, very. It's not complicated. It's straightforward, very honest. Yeah, you can say honest. Yeah, honest. Yeah, very honest, right? Okay, plain, honest, right? Simple. Okay. Then the last term is the last is the most difficult. Okay. So even to let go of letting go, that's tough. We should let go of letting go because we should not be what? Remember, we should not be fixated on anything. Okay. Because once we fixate on something, okay, and don't let go, right? Then that's gonna lead us to what? To create more karma, believe it or not, okay? Because ultimately everything is, how can I say, is not permanent. Maybe that's a better term. It's not permanent, okay? So or it has no self, maybe, right? 一切法无我, okay? That has no essence. All right, all things have no essence. None of it, even letting go is not an essence. It's just a method. So even ultimately, we even have to let go of the method. Okay, all right. So we learn to be tathata, thus. Yeah, that means 如是. You can say 如是, thus. Just it just means that understanding that everything is empty. Remember, I say everything has no essence, right? But there is still one true essence, and that is our own Buddha nature, okay? It's the 本体, but everything else is 空, all right? So that's what this means. The essence and emptiness is all together. That's really what it is. It's not separate. People say, oh, emptiness one thing. It's together. That's what thusness means. Thus. 如是, that's what it means, okay? That's tathata, okay? It's emptiness. Everything's empty. Or, yeah, you can say all phenomena is empty. Everything's empty. But there's one essence behind that, in that emptiness, or you can say that, all right? Okay? And then we can create a life of, tattva. Tattva. It's a term used in Buddhist lexicon. It means a true life, a life that's worthy of living, that has meaning, that has purpose, a truly meaningful life. Life of truth, or a life as it is. You can say life as it is. Yeah, life as it is, as it truly is. Okay, that's the better term. All right. Okay, so this last line is the deepest, it's the most profound. Okay, so if we could do that, then that's really, you are a sage. Okay, a sage. We are a sage or a saint. Okay, if we could do that. All right, or you can say enlightened being even. All right. Okay, so that's the 12 relinquishments. All right, now let's go to, wow, I don't have time to go to the.
We're supposed to memorize this, by the way.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Okay.
And
Yeah.
memorize.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, first I have two questions. I don't know if you know or not, but we've been trying to work on cleaning up Thompson Square Park. We're trying the tree where Prabhupada founded the Hare Krishna. Now, earlier in your statement, you made a statement that, we are the body, we're the body, okay, and understanding the body, when we dealt with three. So the three is dealing with that you recognize the fact that we are the body. But as far as dealing with the argumental point that, is very difficult because you're dealing with the foundation of another religion, is that Prabhupada, you have the Bhagavad Gita over there. Prabhupada states that we are not this body. Okay, and I mean it's a spiritual issue that is very relevant. But we took the position that we are this body.
No.
Now,
Yeah. Okay.
Let me finish one thing. Now, in addressing that, and now understanding that, the language and the meaning of the language, we're trying to learn Chinese, but we need pinyin because it helps clarify or gives us a better understanding of what's going on with the characters and stuff.
Yeah. To answer the question, okay. Now, we talked about at the beginning last class. So I talked about the 3 karmic conditions, right? You say the body, mouth, and mind, right? Now, that's looking at from the perspective of the phenomenal reality. The phenomenal. Now, yes, it is false, like you said, that guru said that all phenomena is false, like empty. It's empty. It's empty or false because it's not eternal. In other words, it's never the same, right? All phenomena is subject to change and has a beginning and end. That's true. So what that guru is saying is looking at from the what? Ultimate absolute perspective. Looking from that perspective. Whereas when we talk about the three karmic conditions of saying, yeah, except that we have a body and we create karma, that it's the phenomenal reality looking at the phenomenal level. But because we are all in this phenomenal reality or phenomenal world, we do have a body that is real in the sense that it exists at the present, right? At the present, right? And we do have consequences at the present, whatever we do, say, and think, okay? And that will just further along, you can say, the illusory existence, all right? Because we're still perpetuating that through the body. And that's still false. That is false. But in terms to transcend, get above that, we still have to remember there's a line in there that says make good use of this false body or this body, this physical body, make good use of it. The only way to transcend beyond these karmic reality or phenomenal reality is you have to get rid of our karma, right? Or reduce it or eliminate it altogether, right? And the only way to do it is when you have this body.
Okay, I understand
Okay,
your point,
makes
but,
sense?
I mean, as far as dealing with it, does create an argument of, position as far as dealing with, the issues of relationships. And when you try to, discuss things with them, it's not really, just dealing with the issue of getting defensive, but you're almost saying that Prabhupada's line about, what is the meaning of transcendental meditation, or dealing with what is the physical reality of our world and us taking care of the world.
No,
So,
well,
really, dealing with the issue of arguments, that does create an argument. And if we're going to have, discussions as far as what is going to be the health and the healthy path to correct the situation and reduce the karma, then somebody has to, agree to make the corrective path that we are this body.
yeah, because I bet you even that guru would admit that there is karma, right?
Yeah,
That there's
you said
karma.
there is
And,
karma.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So then if karma is real, right, then by definition must mean that there has to be some phenomena, right, that manifests that karma, i.e. we have to have a body, right? Makes sense,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's real then, right? That's real. You can't say that's an illusion. You can't. I mean, it is an illusion only from the perspective of the absolute view, saying that, oh yeah, all bodies, all phenomena are not lasting because they're all subject to change. They come and go. In other
Yeah,
words,
we understand
right?
that
Right.
part.
So that should not be a point of debate or whatever. Okay. It's just the question is how then, knowing that in this phenomenal reality, right, that we exist in, right, in the present, okay, how do we go beyond, right? How do I transcend, go beyond forever perpetuating in this cycle, right? Right? So that's the important thing. And you need a body in order to do that. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. It's called the God's instructions. Okay. This is from Holy Teacher again. Okay. So so we know that. Okay. So it's called God's instructions, and this is number 6. It's highlighted here. I didn't. It's the 6. It's the 6th one. It's the 6th one. Okay. The 6th one. And so the first sentence is basically say we should diligently follow and put into practice the 6 paramitas. Anybody know what the 6 paramitas are?
Giving,
Well, yeah, you can say charity.
forbearance.
Yeah, charity. Well, no, that's the second one. Second one is 持戒. It's the precepts, maintain precept or follow precepts. The third one is forbearance, 忍辱, right? Forbearance, tolerance, etc. Okay. Then the fourth one is proper efforts, diligent effort. You can say diligent effort, changing. And then the fifth one is concentration, right? 禅定, concentration, or you can say dhyana, okay. And then the sixth is wisdom, okay. All right. So we should put into that practice those six, okay. And that's the path of bodhisattvas anyway. Okay. So anyway, all right. Then the second one is we should focus attentively to learn and understand the Tao principles. Okay. There's nothing to that. And then so originally, right? 本来, that means originally. In the beginning, you can say in the beginning or from the beginning, you know. 何有念, right? What are the thoughts of the true self? We really have none, right? That's what I'm saying. It's what? Still. It's perfectly still, right? It's the only reason why is that we have thoughts or desires or intent, maybe that's a better term, is that we have phenomena. You know that? It manifests phenomena, okay? It's that, okay? And then, so next one he says, 空中妙有, right? That's the marvelous existence within the emptiness, okay? You could say, or, you know, that is that oneness, okay? That produces 有限, 限 means to produce or to manifest all phenomena, 大千. Now, 大千 literally means the 1,000 chiliocosms. Is cosmos? Cosms. Chilio. Yeah, it's the 1,000 make up 1,000 small worlds make up one
Big world.
medium world. 1,000 medium worlds make up one great world or big world. 1,000, and then there are 3,000 of those great worlds. So it's 3 billion, right? 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000 times, well, times 3,000. But no, it's 3,000 times 3,000 times 3,000. I forgot, something like that. Doesn't matter. It just means all phenomena. Okay, but literally. Okay, so and then the underline, the red underline here, 6. Dao, that means path, but originally or really are what? Empty. Okay, so that's what it means. The 6 paths of transmigration or so are really empty. That is, they're false. They're not eternal. Understand? Okay, so we know what the 6 paths, anyone know 6 paths of transmigration, right? You guys know the diagram, that triangle, right? Human realm, animal realm, what's that?
Asura.
Yeah, Asura, Diva, hungry ghosts, and underworld. So those 6 are actually not real because they're not true, because they're not eternal. They're not, even the underworld is not eternal, right? Underworld, you know that? Because the underworld is the opposite, right, of the Diva world, the Qi Tian Xian, the Diva world. And those two are not opposite because those two are just dualistic, understand? So the absolute realm has none of that, right? Makes sense? When we talked about couple months ago, we talked about the 10 十法界, 10 Dharma realms, right? You guys got the handout, you guys had that spreadsheet. Look at those 10 levels of realms, right? Only the top one is the real one. Everything else is all subject to change. They have a time limit, in other words. Okay? All right, doesn't matter. All right, so that's what that means. Okay? So let's do this. So God's good children, remember these good words, these kind words. So God, basically holy teacher, Buddha's asking, why are we so busy about in this world, right? Okay? Our minds have endless thoughts, or always, literally it means, right? Yang Dan, right? No, Dan Yang means constantly undulating or moving, fluxing. Flux. It's a constant flux, motion. We cannot realize the Buddha nature, all right? Because we have what? Endless thoughts, right? So we cannot, okay? And then we have endless desires, right? And wishes that harms the soul, or literally means spirit, harms the soul, okay? Okay? And the material world is like a net that ties us down, that ties down the original nature, not physically, but our spiritual self, okay? All right, so once again, here it is. The fame, fortune, and passions and power, right? Fame, you can say fame and fortune. This means, li, you can say, fame and fortune, right? Fame, fortune, tie up our minds, for our power and passions cause our minds to become subjugated, okay? And then all types of phenomena cause people to become lost. All right? Okay? So by repeatedly focusing our minds outwardly, we should understand that they don't reveal the truth, okay? The true hidden treasure is not far away. Actually, it means, literally, it's within us, okay? So where we have to search and find it inwardly, right? We introspect our noble nature, right? Okay, constantly nurture our virtues, and in stillness or quietude, we can realize our true essence. Okay, our Buddha nature. Okay, an awakened mind makes full use, okay, of its heavenly nature, or it's endowed. What was its endowed, right? All those things. Literally, it means does not forget, right? This means does not forget, but it just means it makes full use. Okay, if we awaken, then we must promote what? Filial piety and fraternity, and so harmony and friendship will flourish at home. Okay, and then loyalty and righteousness are so great, and upholding pride. So these four are the part of the four of the eight virtues in Confucianism. Okay, so that's right. And then 奢华 means very luxury. Something is very extravagant, very luxurious. Okay, 不中相, right? That means we should not hold in esteem, or we should not pursue, but just don't hold it in high regard. All lavish extravagance, right? But rather 朴实, right? What's 朴实? Literally means honest, sincere, simple, unpretentious. It's just unpretentious. Okay, all right. We should hold that dear. And if we are nurtured by the truth, then we become more cheerful. Literally means we brighter or more sunlight, but it just means we become happy, cheerful. Okay, more happy. Okay, so we should clearly understand with what the proper thoughts are. Okay, and then our actions will then naturally be correct. Okay, and then with such clear understanding, how can there be any stains or defilements? Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, no, they got a 办道, right?
No, they're having a dance ceremony.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So 气度 means bearings, mannerism, to some behavior to some degree. Okay, so we must have a magnanimous bearing and behavior. That's what 无限广. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, it literally means limitless, or broad, limitless breadth or broadness. Okay, tolerance. Okay, then we will be what? 更贴近, right? That means become closer. We'll get closer to what? This literally means heaven, but it's paradise. Because what I mean is, what Holy Teacher is not saying heaven in the afterlife. He's talking about on earth. So that's why I use paradise. All right? Okay? That we can create paradise here. Okay? All right? So with great and boundless joy, right? That's this. Okay? Boundless. You can say boundless joy, happiness, joy. Okay? We can be forthright and sincere. That's here, right? 率真, right? 率真. Okay? That's forthright and sincere. And this means and what? Non-conditioned. Okay? 无望. With no motive, no expectations. Okay? And this means liberation, freedom, and free. Okay? We are unfettered, not tied down, because we have we have true understanding of our behavior. All right? Okay. Then, that's it. Thank you. Okay, that's it. I thought I was rushing through it. Sorry. This is shorter, right? This is shorter than the first one. Okay. So, any questions about these?
Everybody looks to James.
No, he understood what I was saying. So I mean, it's you don't want to dwell on the issue, but as we seek to, you say, cultivate Tao and look for peace and harmony, then we have to understand where the conflicts are and how we're going to address them without insulting them. One thing is dealing with the issue of the lay ministry. This is a lay ministry, so we're not experts in what we're talking about, but we understand what we're talking about. But to sit up there and try to say that their teachings and their position is wrong is almost starting a fight at times.
Well, yeah. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't use those strong terms as it's wrong, but rather we should understand that what is truly the proper view, the correct view, the middle path, if you will. All right? Okay? Now, and the problem with a lot of the teachings out today, especially in, it has a tendency, I'm not saying all of it, but a lot of them have a tendency to be very narrow and also sometimes extreme. Okay, that in the sense, what I mean by extreme, I don't mean either negative or positive in that respect. I just means very narrowly focused, and they don't understand the big picture. So what I mean by extreme is like you only focus on one thing. Like example, like you see the tree but you don't see the forest. Okay, so we have to have the ability to see the forest and yet see the tree, and also see the tree. Understand? So that's really what's the question boils down to. What is the proper view or proper understanding, okay, about things? Now people can debate about what principles, but I think a lot of these that principles people would understand that karma is real. Okay, karma is real. Most Buddhists, I think all Buddhists would accept that, right? Okay, Buddhists, even though there are some maybe they say it's not real, but they're talking from a different perspective. It's not that it doesn't exist. It's just that they come and go. They're not permanent.
Yeah, we understand as far as dealing with, but see, it didn't say like, okay, the pet project we had as far as like, the real issue was the reason why we focused on cleaning up the Hudson River is because we had to clean up ourselves. Okay? When you're dealing with that particular environment, it's not only drugs and alcohol. It's the mentality and energy of constantly fighting with the police, people of color, being an African American, we deal with a lot of racism, we deal with a lot of discrimination, we deal with a lot of, discrediting and saying that we don't know what we're talking about. And just that one point as far as dealing with, when we talk to the Hare Krishna group, which is in the parks all the time, chanting at Union Square, but then when you talk about, what's going on in Thompson Square Park, they don't even really want to go in there and address the problems with the drugs and alcohol. Because you have another group, you have another group that wants to keep a war state within our society. And that, as far as using the energy of the spiritual house to, dominate what's going on in our society, has to have a solution of being corrected. So I've been dealing with this for many years, and I'm one person. Okay, but it's beyond that. It's dealing with what is the responsibility of the community of New York itself. The police have no reason to allow them to have that anti-police riot concert going on, celebration, for over 30 years in that park. Okay, I don't want to use the word asinine, but it is. Okay, you don't sit up there and say, okay, we're going to allow these, yuppies, these warmongers to go into a park, have them dispense drugs, dispense alcohol, and sit up there and badger the police on a daily basis. Okay, it's sick. Okay, it needs to stop. And our prayer houses need to figure out a way how to sit these people down and talk about the reality of what they're doing to our society.
Yeah. I think a lot of the you can say the differences or in ideas and perspectives is a lot on the method, on methodology, okay, on the means, okay. In the Tao, we don't emphasize the means as much as the principle or the essence. It's because means are infinite in variety, okay, and they are only, how can I say, good for only specific things. All right, so there is no one size fit all means, right? Okay, method, right. There's no one size fit all. That's impossible, because if there was, then everything will be hunky dory, right? Okay, so unfortunately that's the case. Okay, so the key is not so much on the means, because there are infinite means, infinite, countless, for every variety of situation, neighborhood, whatever. Okay, there are different methods, means. Okay, so that's not the important thing. The important thing is that everybody, if each one of us could truly understand what the principles are, i.e., what our Buddha nature is, what is truly meant to be more enlightened, then naturally, without having to discuss or debate about any specific method or means, we will then do the right thing. Understand? So that's the general, broad, overarching theory. It makes sense, and that's what Buddhism is really talking about. And not just Buddhism, actually, every religion, every religious leader, founder, take that approach. And so if you read our scriptures, it's all based on that approach. The Buddhist will not tell us, say, oh, here's a specific method for you to do this. They don't do that because they know that what? Conditions constantly change, right? So then your method then becomes outdated. Understand? Because your method also must change if conditions change, right? Because the method is based on certain conditions. So certain conditions are like that, so then you base your means, your method, on those conditions, right? But if the conditions vary, then your methods better vary. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So that's why it's not so much the means, understand? It's the principle, right? The essence. If we understand the principle, then everything will flow naturally. Make sense? Okay? So the key is understanding the principle, i.e., we say the Tao, understanding ourselves. So if we know ourselves extremely well or deep enough, then it becomes easier to deal with not just other people, but all manner of things. That's the whole idea behind our quote-unquote method or our approach. Maybe that's a better term, our approach. Okay? So yes, it's not to say that you can't have means. No, you absolutely need means. But understand that means are not fixed, rigid. Unfortunately, that's the problem with laws. See? Laws are very rigid, right? So that's why we create more laws, because situation is different. So this law doesn't work now, right? So now we have to create another law to deal with this new situation or condition. Doesn't that make sense?
No, you have a problem with the issue of, the interpretation, understanding of what is law and what is spiritual law, and the usage of law.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's that difference.
The lawyers have, you deal with a biased situation when you use the word law. Okay?
Well, yeah. There's natural law, then there's artificial law or institutional law. Right. Yeah, moral law. There's moral law. There's natural. All that type. Okay. Yeah.
But right now, even dealing with what we're dealing with, in not to offend anybody, but you deal with the issue of what's been going on with white supremacy and dominance of the economic system. So if we're going to eliminate poverty, we have to use the computer to deal with the objective of reaching everybody, deal with the problems of what's going on. But you can't say the computer is just for America's use. Okay? Seriously, that's what we're really fighting right now at the highest level. Dealing with America saying they want full control of the computer and dominate the world as far as dealing with via the internet. And we're not going to be able to properly implement the educational process if that, phrase that someone never said in British soil actually takes place. Okay? We have a fallacy. Okay? We have a false use of power.
Yeah, I'm not,
So the internet should be clear and it should be,
You mean net neutrality and all that stuff?
Yeah, it's important right now because even when you're doing your slideshow and your education, the computer and internet. You're reaching us all here. Okay, you're reaching us here via the display on the screen. So this is just, a small example, but, as far as dealing with the temple and dealing with a large issue of miseducation, we all have to sit down and talk about what's wrong, what's going on. And as the Buddha nature is supposed to elevate and correct itself, then other people have to recognize what they're doing that is not, totally in line with bringing the goodness to reality.
No, well, hey, the internet is another tool. It's just a tool. Okay, and it's a tool. It can be used for good and bad, right? Okay, all right. So we can't. You're not going to be able to change the fundamental nature of the internet. Okay, you can't make it all good. It's impossible, right? It's just a tool, just like a knife, right? A knife can be used for good and evil. So it all rests on the what? the user or
The
the
user, it's not the
individuals.
computer that's
What?
doing it.
So that's why. Then if that's where it rests on, then isn't it more incumbent then to therefore make sure that every individual have the proper intentions, the correct intentions. So we have to educate them, right? We have to kind of promote good thoughts, promote morality, promote all these things, right? Right? Isn't that true? Isn't that true? Okay. Now, the means to do that could be done through the internet, could be done through books, seminars, meetings, classes, etc., right? Schools, whatever, right? Right? But the key is what? You have to what? We have to make sure the hearts and minds, right, of people are proper, right? Or at least have the proper understanding and proper view, right? Right? Isn't that the focus of what the Tao is? That's the approach that we do, right? Right? I mean, that's right. But we're trying to say, hey, these are the proper thoughts. These are the proper views, proper understanding, right? And along the way, oh, by the way, that's what our Buddha nature is like. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay? So that's so we cannot, and so that's where the focus is, right? It's not the focus is on the means, right? Some countries try to do it. They say, oh, I'm going to censorship the internet. I put a great firewall. That's a means. That does not correct the fundamental behavior or thoughts or views or understanding of people. Make sense?
Yeah.
Right? That does nothing to change that. Does nothing to change that. As a matter of fact, it probably aggregates even worse, right? So that's not the method. I mean, so that's not the proper approach, right? Or that's not the smart approach, right? Okay. So the better approach is to what? Correct the minds and hearts of people, and that's the essence of Buddha's teaching, the essence of Confucius, the essence of Jesus, actually, really, okay, of his teaching. All right, right. Right? And that's what we should understand. Right? Makes sense? Okay, all right. I said enough. Thank you very much. There are a lot of things that I probably didn't go over well, so I ask for the Buddha's forgiveness. Okay, thank you very much. One.